Chapter 2, Wallace and Grace and the Lost Puppy. We are reading Wallace and Grace and the Lost Puppy by Heather Alexander, illustrated by Laura Zarin. We're on to Chapter 2. Begin at the end. Did you smell that puppy? Grace covered her beak with her wing. I refuse to work with him. He needs a bath. Wallace did not want to miss out on a mystery. If Jasper cleans up, can we take the case? Grace nodded, but kept her wing over her beak. Wallace led Jasper down a path. Grace flew above them. The stink is a clue, Wallace called up to her. He smells like a skunk. That means Jasper met a skunk. I fell into a den of skunks right before I met you, said Jasper. The skunk babies cried out. The mother skunk gave me a big squirt. She wanted to scare you away from her babies, said Grace. It worked. I wish I could squirt stink too, said Jasper. You're a dog, not a skunk, Wallace pointed out. A smelly dog, added Grace. We're here. Wallace stopped. Notice they have sunglasses on. Next to a swirling river. The two ducks stood by a sign that said, Scrub-a-dub-duck, duck. One held a bar of soap, the other held a scrub brush. Bath time, called the ducks. Jasper groaned. He hated baths. He poked his paw into the water. Yikes! It was cold. Freeze, cried Wallace. You are wise. It is way too cold for a bath. Jasper quickly pulled out his paw. That's not it, said Wallace. I don't want any clues to wash away. A clue will tell us where you ran last night. Wallace inspected Jasper with his magnifying glass. He started at the puppy's nose and traveled to his tail. Yoy! Wallace pulled a leaf from Jasper's tail. The leaf was orange with bumpy edges. Leaves grow on trees. What was a dog doing up in a tree? Asked Grace. The leaves fall down in the autumn, Wallace reminded her. I ran through a huge pile of leaves before I met the skunks, said Jasper. Was that after the thief took your apples? Yes. I chased the thief into the woods and then into the leaves. I couldn't find her after that. Wallace opened his notebook again. I will write down our clues. So there's the leaf. Let's make a timeline, said Grace. That will show us the order that things happened last night. Great idea. Number 1, Jasper lives by apple trees and glowing face. Number 2, Jasper chased apple thief into woods. Number 3, Jasper ran through leaf pile. Number 4, Jasper was squirted by skunk. Number 5, Jasper got lost. There's the apple trees, the glowing face, there's the forest, there's the leaves, there's the skunk, and now he's dirty and he's a lost puppy. Let's start with clue number 1, said Wallace. We will look for apple trees, said Grace. What about me? Asked Jasper. Bath time. The two ducks gave him a bubble bath. Wings in the air, eyes on the ground, called Wallace. The owls had detective work to do. Where do we go? Asked Grace. No apples grew in the great woods. Wallace flew to the right. There is a swamp this way. Apples don't grow in a swamp, said Grace. Grace flew to the left. There is a beach this way. Scrub-a-duck, duck. Apples don't grow on a beach, said Wallace. They flew around and around. They saw no apples anywhere. We need to go backwards, said Grace. Wallace tried to fly backwards. His feet flipped over his head. Yoy! He cried. This is not a good way to fly. I don't want us to fly backwards, called Grace. I want us to solve the mystery by going backwards in our timeline. Now Wallace understood. We need to retrace Jasper's steps. His glasses fell out. I hope he caught him. They flipped the order of the timeline. Jasper got lost. Jasper was squirted by a skunk. Number 3, Jasper ran through a leaf pile. Number 4, Jasper chased apple thief into woods. Number 5, Jasper lives by apple trees and glowing face. We need to find the skunk, said Wallace, but how? Follow the stink. Grace sniffed the ground. She smelled wet dirt, frog burps, and a bit of skunk stink, all mixed together. What does your nose know? Asked Wallace. My nose doesn't know which way to go. She twirled around confused. Owls are lousy at smelling. Wallace pointed to 2 tiny nostrils by his beak. Not much sniffing power. I know who has a power sniffer, said Grace. They hurried back to the river. The ducks dried Jasper with fluffy towels. He smelled like soap. We need your super sniffer, said Grace. Jasper quickly picked up the skunk scent that he had brought through the woods. He followed it around trees. He followed it over a log. Oh, look at him. He followed it behind a rock to the baby skunks. Hello again. Jasper was happy to see them. He wagged his tail. Mother skunk was not happy to see Jasper. She raised her tail. Jasper growled. Mother skunk wasn't scared. She raised her tail higher. Oh no, cried Grace. They were all about to be covered in stink. Look at, oh my gosh. And that's where we end chapter 2. And chapter 3 is called A Better Idea.